You're listening to AI Prism from Seoul Economic Daily.
It's Thursday, June 4. Let's look at a business story shaping corporate Korea. Right now, corporate cable, these massive family-controlled conglomerates that just dominate the Korean economy, they're getting squeezed from all sides.
Yeah, squeezed is, well, putting it mildly.
I mean, if you were in the C-suite, your old operational playbook is basically obsolete. You were dealing with this tight convergence of domestic slowdowns, new tariff shifts, and an urgent race to fund AI infrastructure.
Exactly. And you can see this perfectly with Hyundai Motor. They are trading on the hashtag COSPI under 0053880.
Right. Their Q1 operating profit fell 30.8% year-on-year, down to 2.5147 trillion won, which is about 1.8 billion US dollars.
Yeah, and you add May domestic sales dropping 23.1% to that.
It's rough. I mean, is there aggressive push for flexible production just a quick fix for these drops?
Well, no, panic isn't the strategy here. It is actually a vital second-half structural strategy. They are really trying to eliminate something called gong pitch.
Gong pitch, that is factory floor slang for an empty spot on the conveyor belt, right?
Yeah, exactly. It happens when rigid union rules basically prevent managers from shifting production lines.
Ah, so you can't just move workers around to where they are needed.
Right. Like, say you have a massive surge in orders for a new SUV model, but the sedan line is completely quiet. Because of fixed line assignments, the sedan workers cannot just slide over.
So the SUV line gets overwhelmed, and the sedan line just has empty belts rolling by. That is gong pitch.
You got it. So pushing the union for flexible production is really the only structural way they can recover delivery capacity.
So Hyundai is trying to fix the plumbing on the factory floor. But, contrast this operational bottleneck with LG Electronics over on hashtag COSPI 066570. Standard & Poor's just upgraded them to BBB-plus.
Which is huge, right? I mean, that is their first upgrade in 12 years.
Yeah, it completely validates their multi-year pivot to B2B and vehicle components.
Exactly. And S&P actually projects their debt-to-EBITDA ratio dropping to 1.0 times by 2027.
Oh, wow. So they are getting highly liquid. But, shifting from domestic strategy to external headwinds, the U.S. Trade Representative's new 12.5% Section 301 tariff is definitely looming.
Right. And while Korean autos and batteries technically avoided a direct hit, it's not exactly clear skies.
Yeah, the new supply chain traceability rules feel like stepping through a compliance minefield.
I completely agree. It is essentially a forensic audit now. Tier 2 and Tier 3 supplier audits are just the new operating requirement.
Meaning you have to prove your components never touched forced labor supply chains.
Exactly, which is driving this radical shift to connect tariff hedging to geographical footprints. Just look at Doosan Robotics, hashtag COSPI 454910.
Right. They just poured 24 billion won, so roughly 17 million USD, into a Pennsylvania facility.
Yeah, and their Q1 backlogs are hitting 19.3 billion won, or about 13.5 million USD.
So their North American playbook is basically acquire, localize, and integrate.
Exactly. Building local is the template for escaping tariff uncertainty. You just bypass those complex traceability rules entirely.
That makes a lot of sense. And, pivoting to the automation tech enabling this, Nvidia's global summit in Seoul this November is confirmed.
Right, and the focus there is heavily on physical AI.
Physical AI, so artificial intelligence operating in the physical world, like advanced robotics on an assembly line.
Yeah, not just a chatbot on your screen. And to run that seamlessly, Nvidia is really pushing AI RAN.
Right, which means turning standard cellular base stations into distributed AI inference nodes. So the processing happens right at the network edge.
Which drops response times to milliseconds. And that speed is why telecom and industrial CEOs must finalize their capital commitments for this infrastructure soon.
Because you desperately need that edge computing power. And speaking of AI infrastructure, Microsoft just rolled out new proprietary AI models and an autonomous agent.
Yeah, they're offering full-stack in-house alternatives now, which really forces an immediate reassessment at the board level.
Does this vertical integration completely blow up the vendor assumptions of our current enterprise Azure contracts?
I mean, yes, it confirms procurement strategies require immediate reassessment. You cannot just assume you're locked into OpenAI anymore.
Right. It totally changes the game. As you evaluate your own supply chain and AI roadmaps, ask yourself, is your organization's procurement strategy agile enough to adapt, or are you locked into legacy agreements? That's today's AI Prism, CEOs. This episode was produced with AI assistance based on Seoul Economic Daily reporting and reviewed by a human editor. AI Prism is a Juan Ifrey award-winning series. We'll be back tomorrow.
You've been listening to AI Prism from Seoul Economic Daily.